Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Welcome back to the show. So now we're moving into the educational side of the program, inshallah, and looking at the teachers' conference that took place under the South African Dawah Network, which is based in Durban. And we'll be having Sheikh Abubakar Mseleku, who is actually a former student under the MA Motala, which is closely joined and as a project of the South African Dawah Network. And he's in service training at SADN until graduation in 2017, and he has been employed full time since 2003 as secretary, then promoted to project coordinator. He coordinates activities at the center and the South African Dawah Network, arranging committee meetings at centers, organizing and hosting teachers' workshops, which is one we're going to focus on right now, conducting field visits, inspection on their 26 massages that has been built by the South African Dawah Network, and coordinate tertiary students' projects. So today we'll be focusing more on the teachers' conference, which took place in July, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh Abubakar, and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallahu khairan for having me.
No, Jazakallah khairah for being with us. It's always a pleasure having yourself with so much experience you have in this beautiful field of development and other projects that are run under the South African Dawah Network. Now, to start off, obviously, we need to understand the whole concept of the previously, we can say, hosted teachers conference that took place in your area. Now, the first part is in terms of what was the main concept of having the conference itself, inshallah?
Yes. The reason why we decided to have a conference, in fact, we just changed the name now that it is a conference. Before, it used to be just a teacher's workshop. But after realizing that there is a need for more training and development, we then decided that it should now be a conference and invite as many people as possible from different areas, because we realize that there is a kind of a neglect, or there is lack of development when it comes to our du'at, our mu'allima, because what happens is that many of them, last time they were in school was when they were pursuing their Islamic studies at tertiary institutions. But after that, it's either they were imams or muazzin or just there in the madrasa. We realized that there is a gap that needs to be filled. Therefore, we decided that we need to have this yearly conference where they will be trained and developed, have their knowledge and skills sharpened.
MashaAllah. No, that's actually sounds interesting because, again, coming back to the point, you mentioned that it is, again, to focus on the teachers, etc. But not only teachers, as if you mentioned the muazzins, you mentioned muallims, muallimas, etc. Now, what was the main target of the conference? Was it only teachers in terms of what we call as the secular education, or was it actually Islamiyat, or was it a mix of both, inshallah?
It was a mix of both. First of all, we are focusing in Islamic education, right? But now the most important thing is the teaching part of it when it comes to madrasa teachers. We realize that many madrasa teachers, one would just buy a book from the shop or from the Islamic bookshop and will be teaching from there. The issue of syllabus is something that is non-existent in many of our teachers. Therefore, we have approached IOSA, which is closer to us, who have been providing us with the syllabus. Some teachers were for the first time learning the issue of lesson plan. The teacher would just walk into the class and start teaching from his head. Some of them, they don't even have exercise book. Children are not even writing. Therefore, there was that one part of it. Secondly, there are people who make dawah in the communities. Therefore, it is important for such people to be well versed both in the Quran and as well as the Bible. And that's the reason why there is also a session on comparative religion. Because, for instance, you cannot, it is highly impossible, according to how we see it, that you can go out there to make dawah just using the Quran. Whatever verses that you can quote from the Quran, non-Muslims don't really care. They are not even interested. They may not even understand. But for you to engage with the people in terms of giving them dawah, you need to be well versed in the Bible and prove the Islam, that it is a true religion, it is not a foreign religion, quoting the biblical verses. So that part of it was also in our program. So we're trying to develop in terms of our du'at and mu'allimas teaching, as well as those who are full-time in dawah.
Subhanallah. That's subhanallah, a very interesting point because as a teacher myself personally, I also believe that many of our madaris, makatibs that do not really have a set syllabus, because you find you go to one maktab, they're using a different, some not even existing syllabus. Some have maybe one or two books from Jamiat, KZN. Some have different types of book. Some have from maybe Mia's Farm, etc. So, is it possible to say that, inshallah, in the next coming years, we could have a consistent and general syllabus that might be rolled out into many of the madrasas, etc., especially for everyone or those people who are somehow affiliated to the South African Dawah network, inshallah?
Yes, definitely. We have to. You see, when doing Allah's work, we mustn't do it for the sake of doing it. I think it is our duty as Muslims, all of us, to say that anyone who decides to teach children, we know that it is happening all over. Alhamdulillah, it is good. You could be teaching 10 children, maybe out of the 10, 2 will take it further. But if you decide to teach, follow a syllabus, whether it is Jamiat, whether it is IOSA, whether it is Mia's Farm, because we are not doing it for the sake of doing it. We are teaching people here. Some of them may not even be Muslims, but in the future, Allah gives hidayah. But now, if you just do it like that, it's like we're mocking, we're playing with Allah's work.
100%.
And we do not have a problem with someone using a different syllabus, but for as long as it is a syllabus, so that if our children, those that we are developing, intend to pursue Islamic education, at least they will be coming from somewhere. And another, if there is no syllabus, how are you going to measure success now in terms of what that knowledge that you are imparting on the children? Therefore, I'm saying it's like you're playing with Allah's work.
Subhanallah.
So we are encouraging this, yes.
So subhanallah, actually that's a very interesting point at the end that you made, that especially in doing Allah's work, because at most times it does feel like when it comes to dealing with madrasas, etc., there's a sense of laxity. Everyone is lax. There's no sense of, if you can put it in words, seriousness, especially structures. I believe that we don't really have structures in place that can make it seem like something that can go on for years. Actually, I had a discussion earlier on with one Moulana regarding how most of our tertiary Islamic studies institutions are not recognized by the SAQA, the South African Qualification Authority, because there's no set structure for all of them altogether. Some have different, some have maybe 5 years in, some are 6 years, some are 7 years. So if all of them were to have a structure, wouldn't that also make a difference in terms of, maybe, for example, you studied for 6 years, when you qualify, then your qualification is recognized, and you can carry on and actually in a way enroll into maybe a university to be a lecturer or in another tertiary institution?
Definitely. It's just that I'm not sure if there is a body that actually looks at such things, because like I said earlier on, it is our duty as a Muslim to stand up, protect, defend Islam, and if we expect people to take us and our deen and our education seriously, our standards must be up, Like if you look at Christians now, you wouldn't find anything like this. They go to real serious tertiary institutions, whether it is 5 years or 7 years. But now here, the situation is different. Yes, there are bodies, Islamic bodies, like you'll find like a Jamiat. I'm not sure if there is, not that there must be, maybe there has to be a watchdog kind of an organization that will make sure that we are either up there or it does not happen at all.
Subhanallah, very interesting.
Another thing which we have realized, another thing which we're trying to get rid of, here in South Africa, if you attended a madrasa, just a madrasa, you won't be able to teach anywhere and be employed. But what happens is that people who come from other countries, even if they did not go to tertiary institutions, but because in their countries the level of Islamic education is higher than us here in South Africa, when they come here, we call them shuyukh. So we don't really do the vetting of qualification and make sure that, you know what, Darul Ulum, 6 years, or Sudan, or 3 or 4 years, or Medina University, 6 years. So I think we are also being taken for a ride in a way, if I may put it that way. Therefore, I'm emphasizing in terms of seriousness, we are not taking the Islamic education serious. Therefore, we're trying to pull organizations like the Islamic Educational Organization of South Africa that has a syllabus. And Alhamdulillah, the other year and this year, they provided us with study guide, and 80% of our teachers will be for the first time using the syllabus because they did not know anything about syllabus or that they must do preparation. Some of them don't even conduct exams.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
Sure. Subhanallah. Can we take a quick break, inshallah, Sheikh Abubakar? Then when we return, Subhanallah, it's a very interesting topic, and I believe it needs a lot of emphasis on this, inshallah, so that people can understand what is the implication and what is actually amiss in this whole situation, inshallah. So let's take a break, and when we return, inshallah, we'll conclude talking about the South African Dawah Network's Teachers Conference, which took place in July 2024, inshallah.
Yasin Badat Financial Advisory. Are your financial goals feeling out of reach? Yasin Badat Financial Advisory is here to turn your aspirations into achievements. Our dedicated team, armed with a history of success, is ready to guide you through the complex nature of financial and investment planning. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the game, our personalized solutions cater to your unique goals and risk appetite. Trust in our commitment to transparency, integrity, and excellence. Ready to unlock a world of freedom? Partner with us today. Call Yasin Badat Financial Advisory at +27 33 346 2071 or visit www.yasinbadat.com. Yasin Badat Financial Advisory, guiding you to financial success.
Attention drivers, revamp your ride with top quality tires at Best Drive Bromfontein. Our seasoned technicians guarantee a perfect fit for a smooth, safe journey. Choose from premium brands to budget-friendly options, all at competitive prices with special offers. From tire installations to brakes and shocks, we have all your vehicle needs covered. We also specialize in wheels, batteries, and suspension repairs. Get to meet our hands-on director, Mohammed Desai. With over 3 decades of experience, he ensures you receive exceptional service. Enjoy Salah facilities and a complimentary tea or coffee while you wait. Don't compromise on safety and performance. Ample parking available and full-time security on premises. Visit Best Drive Bromfontein today or call 011 837 4000 or 5000. We are 1 kilometer off the M1 highway. Take the Smith Street off-ramp towards Fortsburg, Fitas. Best Drive Bromfontein, where excellence meets service.
Ah, the kitchen, the heart of the home, where memories are made and celebrated. Our go-to place for those freshly stacked pancakes early in the morning or for the late-night snack munchies. We are in there together, cooking, eating, and celebrating life together. let's keep the kitchen a place that is shared by everyone, where we build stronger bonds and grow together. Sunfoil, now we cooking. Visit nowwecooking.co.za for recipes that everyone can help make.
The people of Palestine need your support now. Africa Muslims Agency is on the ground, already providing food, medication, and emergency supplies in Gaza. Donate any amount to Heal Palestine at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, empowering, educating, inspiring.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
One child, one dream.
A journey with Africa Muslims Agency that began 3 years ago has changed the lives of Syrian and Palestinian refugee children beyond their dreams. Help them to continue their education by sponsoring a student at the Amman School of Excellence in Lebanon for 25,200 Rand per year. Education at Amman can provide a brighter future for refugee families.
AMA, empowering, educating, inspiring.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are discussing the Teachers Conference that was hosted by the South African Dawah Network. And we're speaking to the project coordinator, Sheikh Abubakar Mseleku. And Sheikh, before we went on break, we're just speaking about the importance of having a syllabus and following a syllabus, and most importantly, lesson plans and also the examination system. Now, in terms of the conference itself, again, just to remind us, when did it take place? And in terms of also the setup and who the people who came through, who did we have that actually attended the program itself, inshallah?
This was a 6-day workshop, took place from the 27th of June until the 3rd of July. It was mixed participant, approximately 40 males and females. Obviously, the number of our females is always less. We had 10. Inshallah, we're hoping to have more. Because that was another thing also. When organizations most of the time organize programs, it is mainly for men. Forgetting that they are our uppers, they were doing quite a lot of work. We also need their knowledge and skills to be sharpened. And they come from Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Swaziland, South African provinces, which was Free State, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and KwaZulu-Natal. And their ages range from 25 to 40. We didn't have anyone older than that.
Subhanallah.
Not that it was our criteria, but these are the people who showed keen interest. I think also these are the people who are on the ground who are actually doing that work.
Subhanallah, mashallah, tabarakallah. May Allah SWT accept all the efforts that are put into such programs. And on touching back on the point of the uppers not really being, I can say, or not attending, there's also another field, I believe you've also realized there's a big gap, especially in our township areas, the Muslim-run ECD centers. And I think that's another discussion which we will need to have on another day, especially in terms of development or developing ECD centers in the township areas for the Muslim children. I know as a parent, if you are sending a child to school and they are going to obviously be giving food, etc., and whatever they're going to be taught has to somehow, you have to be concerned. Now, how do we go about in encouraging the sisters in taking up courses? Because I believe there are online courses that they can do of ECDs that take about 6 weeks to learn and doesn't really take, some of them are even free, subhanallah, and others are learnerships where they get paid to even do so. So how do we now try to put this as an immediate concern for the community and for sisters who are not working, etc., to try and look at it and have interest in it, inshallah?
I think as organizations, we need to create an awareness and talk about the advantages of sending our children to the ECDs. First of all, we can see the situation in South Africa now, but Islamic environment itself is still very, very, very important. I mean, you'll feel much more comfortable if your child is in an Islamic environment. So it is all about creating that awareness, encourage our sisters to take leadership roles and talk about the importance of all these things. Because like you said, really in the townships, you find that most of us Muslims, we take our children to an Islamic environment. Not that there is something wrong with it, but then, like you said, if they offered like food or any other thing, at least you know in an Islamic environment, you're not even exposed to haram activities. There is a few which are available, but we are still lacking there. I think there is a lot of work that needs to be done, but I believe that if we are united and we are we work with sincerity, we will achieve more.
No, 100%, inshallah. And we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does give us that concern and inshallah becomes a reality. Now, back on the topic, inshallah. Now, regarding the conference, you spoke about also collaboration with other organizations. Now, who are part of this conference and who are is the SADN also inviting others to come and collaborate for the upcoming conferences as well, inshallah?
Yeah. Right. First of all, SADN is a Dawa organization, right? And we are a Dawa through education through Dawa. The issue of teacher training, teacher development is something that is next to Mr. Muhammad's heart. Now, what happens is that this time we invited the International Islamic University of Islamabad. They contributed. They gave books. They also gave the certificate. So this year we are running with Islamabad. However, there are two organizations that are very supportive to this initiative, and in our evaluation, it was discussed to learn that we need to invite these two big organizations to partner with the SADN in terms of this programming, because we do invite them to have slots and they also contribute. But we feel that in the 6 days, because they come with quite a lot, like for example, the IPCI with their comparative religion and mosque tour, and they are dealing directly with the Tuat, especially the imams, on how to conduct mosque tour, as well as those who are in Dawa. They come with a comparative religion. So next year, inshallah, we would like to give IPCI full day to conduct the workshop. We would also like to give IOSA full day on madrasa education, because I think, like I said earlier on, our teachers really need their teaching skills to be polished, to be professional teachers. And we are certain, inshallah, that these two organizations will join us, because IOSA is also involved in madrasa education. And some of our teachers now obviously are using the IOSA syllabus. So inshallah, we would also like to answer the call by participants. In our evaluation, all of them requested the SADN that it should be a yearly thing from now on. And that's exactly what will be happening. Next year, we are having the second one, and we'll continue from there. So, inshallah, we hoping and praying that the donors who supported this initiative should consider supporting us again, because it is growing. What we are doing is a direct response to the need down there on the ground.
No, 100%, mashallah, tabarakallah. And we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also helps others come in and collaborate with such beautiful work, so that this can actually not only take place in the KZN province, but the other provinces as well, Gauteng, Northern Cape, Western Cape also, where we have a very big number of Muslims and organizations, etc. And we can have also a collaborative, nationally collaborative program where we put these concerns into play and find solutions together. Jazakumullah khaira once again, Sheikh Abubakar. It's always an amazing point of listening to your insights of beautiful work in da'wah and also in education, which is also your specialty. And we hope to learn more, inshallah, and work together, inshallah, for the near future, so that we can iron out all these wrinkles that we are faced with, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah, Jazakallah khair. And on behalf of SADN management, trustees, and my colleagues, would like to thank Salam Media very much. I know it's not the first time you have engaged us on this, but for the conference, it's the first time. We really, really appreciate the slot you are giving us. Allah reward you all, inshallah.
Ameen. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Now that brings us to the end of the show. Subhanallah, it is true what they say, that time flies when you're having fun, or rather when you're enjoying and actually benefiting from what has been spoken about in these shows, inshallah, tonight. And I just implore everyone, inshallah, to make a resolution of let's start being beneficial to others. I always try to not impose as such, but always spread the hadith of the best amongst you are those who are beneficial to others. And if we learn that hadith thoroughly, we'll understand what it means to be a Muslim and what it means also to have humanity, inshallah. Now it's a beautiful Thursday evening once again. A lot of du'as going out to our families and friends. Reminder, a lot of durood upon the greatest of mankind, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Read your Surah Al-Kahf and make dua for everyone around the world. Our brothers and sisters in Palestine, Sudan, Congo, and the other parts and corners of the world, Myanmar, Bangladesh, etc. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for them and grant them victory, and bless all those who have passed on with Jannah without reckoning, inshallah ta'ala. Until we meet again next week on Thursday evening from 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. It is Call to Guidance with your host, Yunus Kawanga, and my main man, studio operator Sadiq, who is saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.